Hello, my name is Ruth Stewart, and I was brought up on a townland called Turmeal outside Dungiven. I now live in Grey Abbey with my husband Neil and our two boys, Jack and Archie. I was about 9 or 10 when I asked Jesus into my life, but from my mid-teenage years and into my 20s, I definitely didn't live a God-honouring life. I didn't want to stand out as different from my peers, and even though I would talk about matters of faith in God, even as I was standing in pubs and clubs, I definitely shied away from saying that I was a Christian. I met Neil, and about a year after we married, he gave his life to Jesus. And that's when there was a personal change for me in my attitude toward faith. I recognised that even though I had been unfaithful to God and placed him in the background, he wasn't giving up on me, and he'd been there all along. Neil and I were at church more regularly, but I could remember challenging myself with the question, are you here because it seems like the right thing to do, or are you here because you want to be? Around that time, I was asked to join the choir as they were short in altos, and that answered my question. Shortly after, we also started up a praise group, and I rediscovered my passion for praise through song. I grew deeper in my faith as I delved into the Bible and researched music which had a message that pointed people toward God. This was an exciting time for me, but it came with struggles too, because it's when I discovered the thorn in my side was depression. I had a loving family all around me who wanted to help, but to be honest, they weren't enough. Only God could lift me. I vividly remember one time when I literally had the quilt pulled over my head. I was in darkness and totally spent. But in all that despair, I felt the presence of God in the room. It was so real that I remember thinking, if I lift this quilt, he might be standing there. It's when you're at the lowest of low that you discover who you have built your house upon. And it took quite a bit of painful stripping of the clay, sand and rubbish for me to finally hit upon the rock who was always there. If you really want to know a pivotal moment of Jesus changing my life, under the quilt was it. If he hadn't have shown up that night, I just don't know if I'd be here now. So I just can't imagine what it's like for someone who doesn't have Jesus, because he is the only hope. So I implore you, if you're feeling like I was, please just ask Jesus to be your comforter. In John 6:37, Jesus himself promises you, all those the Father gives me will come to me, and whoever comes to me I will never drive away. During this time, and beforehand to be honest, I found it really difficult to sit down in quiet time with God and pray. Then one day I sat down at my piano, leafing through my music books, and I come across a newish song called Blessed Be Your Name by Matt Redman. One of the lines just jumped out. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. And while I sang that song, I cried and I smiled, and at times I was silent as God spoke to me in a way that I can't explain. You see, when I sing, I can express all my emotions, confess my struggles and my sins. I can seek his forgiveness and his gracious comfort. When I do that, I am praying. So when I sing, all my hope is in Jesus, thank God that yesterday's gone, or because he lives, I can face tomorrow, I really mean it. How we talk with God is as unique as each one of us. It's not about the right way or the wrong way, it's about discovering your way. So for about 35 years now, I have felt God's hand upon my life, and it's taken me a long time to figure out how God and I communicate. He had already given me the tools. Then he lavished years of patience and love upon me until the eyes of my heart were fully opened. And he can do that for you too. I want to encourage you to find your own personal relationship with Jesus. Then realise that you're entering into something like learning a new instrument. So go easy on yourself. It's going to take time, and you will falter, as I have and still do. But with regular time with the maestro, and also with impassioned and honest practice, you will play your own unique song to him. And you will know, as it says in Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17, the Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. He will exult over you with loud singing.